3, 2, 1. Starting transmission.
Shut up! I answered!
Nice!
Why are you still ringing? I answered! Shut up! Ah! Fucking hell. It's like it's retarded.
I don't know, Hangouts is a little special.
Yeah. It's a beast of a long ago time or some shit.
If Discord ever gets video chat, I'll just switch.
It's coming. They keep saying, like, it's in the next 6 months or whatever. And I'm just like, sure, that's what they all say. Shut up. Okay, there we go. Stupid computer yelling at me about stuff. Oh, yeah, that's
Cupcake just yelling at everything.
Oh, I wanted to see if Kentai Collection was in the database, but it isn't, so I'll do it later. No. Stupid. It's so stupid.
Hello and welcome to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki and Cupcake. So get yourself a lovely cup of tea and enjoy.
So what were you watching?
Kentai Collection. It's the one about the ship girls or some shit.
Oh yeah.
It's not very good. I mean, it was okay. They couldn't decide if they wanted to be slice of life or like military action, and so they were a little bit of both, which worked for stuff like Girls in Panzer, but that worked because the slice of life was them building their team. Whereas this is just more like wacky adventures, crazy serious battle. Wacky adventures, crazy serious battle. The battles are really like lopsided. They're like either winning or they're just completely decimated. Like there's no like, oh, we have to do this in order to win this battle. It's like, oh, we didn't bring the right kind of ship, so now we're dead. Whack.
Jeez.
At least that's how I looked at it. I was like, really? This is how you get like the last 3 episodes are them fighting like evil base princess, which is like a super powered girl monster thing that shoots airplanes. I don't know. All I know is there's some contrived thing about how they did to destroy all the enemy aircraft carriers, otherwise they couldn't hurt Airstrip Base Princess. That's literally its name. Yes. And it kept yelling how it was going to sink them all again and again and again. And I was like, well, at least we know your motivation. You could really tell that they were pandering to a specific audience, and the fact that the admiral, their commanding officer, is always right out of shot. Like, you never see the admiral, you just see them giving, like, the top ships giving orders. It's like, oh, so, like, am I supposed to be the admiral? But they're talking about the admiral, like, in the third person, except occasionally they cut to, like, face-to-face camera, and they're like, I'm so glad you're back, Admiral. It's like, I don't know if it's supposed to be, like, you inserting yourself into the character, because the game, you're the admiral, or if it's, like, it was like all the main characters in harem animes being, like, really generic brown-haired, brown-eyed dudes. I got nothing.
Okay.
Like, it was really well animated, and it was kind of cute, but I feel like they should have just either went all action or all slice of life and not done a little of both.
Didn't blend very well.
Well, like the way they did like when they get hurt, the way they did repairs is like the bathhouse has like soaking tubs, and depending on how badly damaged they are, they have to spend more time in the soaking tubs.
In the game, don't their clothes get wrecked when they get hurt?
Oh no, their clothes still get wrecked when they get hurt.
Ah, so it stay true to the original format. That sounds like shit.
It's not like the dub work was really good, but the show is really not that good. That's clearly a stream it and don't ever look at it again anime. I was just so enthralled with Girls and Panzer. I thought, oh, what about Ship Girl? Should be interesting too. I'm like, not really. Like, when I say this, like, Girls and Panzers looked like it was going to be really, like, pervy. It's not at all, and it was actually really well written. Like, this show is, like, the polar opposite of everything Girls and Panzers was. I don't even know how to quantify, like, it wasn't bad, it was just mediocre. Like, bad I probably would have screamed bloody murder at. This was just mediocre.
So, bland, maybe?
Yeah. I think that's the word I want. Very tepid. Like, it wasn't that it was bad, it just wasn't good. It's constantly going, like, the episodes I liked most were, like, the one where they go see, like, you find out that the battleship Yamato is in, like, storage because basically she consumes so much food, quote unquote, or supplies to run that they don't want to take her out unless it's important. And so when they go to see her, like the main girls like talk her into going like out on an expedition with them, and when they come back, she has to eat like 3 times as much as the average girl in order to regain her energy. And they're like, "Oh, that's why they don't ever let her out of the base." Like, she eats a plate of curry that for the average human being would be enough for like 4 or 5 people. She's like, I don't know what it is about the sea, it just makes me hungry. And then they make a note about how historically it was very energy intensive to run a ship that big. And during wartime, it's hard to come up with that much fuel. Or some shit. I was just like, okay.
Well, sadly, I have not been spending my time watching anime. I have been watching an old... I don't want to say shitty, but it is kind of shitty TV show from the 70s.
What have you been watching?
Space 1999.
Why the hell are you watching Space 1999?
I don't know. Hulu recommended it. I'm like, whatever. I clicked, and I'm still watching it.
I don't know if you're a masochist or just too tired to, like, stop yourself.
I actually enjoy it, though. Like...
You're like the kind of person who's like, oh boy, root canal is just what I've been waiting for.
All the actors are trying so hard.
Let's not forget the time when they thought that a dog in an alien costume was considered special effects.
Just because all the aliens they meet are humanoid and speak English.
Hey, that can be done very well. As the episode of TNG, When the Walls Fell, shows us. The alien species that speaks completely in metaphor. Historical metaphor, might I add. Gilad at Tanagra, When the Walls Fell. I like that episode. It's like one of my favorites. Because it's all about learning how to communicate with people where your thought processes aren't exactly the same. God, I miss Gene Roddenberry. I can only pray that the new one's not a fucking action fest dipshit.
It might be.
I mean, it's nice that they're doing like the female command staff, but it's like That's small potatoes if it's absolutely devoid of any intellectual.
Oh my god, speaking of female staff, the new doctor is a chick!
That'll last a season.
You know what? I don't even care if it's a gimmick. I got what I wanted.
Well, it's about time. It's only been on TV for 50 years.
I think Ringo just kicked the door.
Well, he will. I mean, he's a dog.
It's actually, an actress I've heard of, whose name I forget right now.
And she's not, like, super young either, which I really appreciate.
No. I mean, I've only watched one thing she was in, but that was Broadchurch, and I love the shit out of Broadchurch. Let's ignore that I'm like 2 seasons behind on Doctor Who.
I don't feel bad. I stopped watching after the first one with, what's his nuts, the Scottish actor. Not David Tennant, but his predecessor.
Eccleston?
Thank you. Actually, I've liked all of them. I just can't find the energy to actually sit down and watch all the stuff I've not, like, it's the same thing that happened with Game of Thrones. I missed, like, 2 seasons. I was just like, I'm not going back through that. I don't care.
Oh, that's right. Game of Thrones came back.
Oh, boy.
I have to watch that, too. It's the final season.
Mark my words. Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen. I'm calling it.
Oh, we have been calling that since the beginning.
Mm-hmm. I'm still going to call it.
But now, White Walkers for the Iron Throne.
Exactly.
That's a franchise I feel bad that I can't stand the books.
That's not a franchise that I feel bad about not being able to stand the books, mostly because I like the way he writes, but I can't stand the style of story he's writing.
I only feel bad because my husband doesn't read much, but when he does, it's because he loves it very hard, and he really enjoys these books. And I find the writing style very, very droll. So I have not finished the first book. In fact, I have not gone past the prologue. I'm enjoying the TV show. There's going to be some gatekeeping fucktard in the comic section if anybody actually listened to this.
What now?
I said there would be some gatekeeping fucktard in the comment section if anybody actually listened to this.
Oh, yeah, about how you're, like, not a real fan or whatever.
Yeah. You haven't read the books.
No real Scotsman. Yeah.
Your vagina threatens me.
Every time somebody says that to me, like, if you're a real anime fan, you would watch it in Japanese with the subtitles. I'm like, if you were a real anime fan, you would spend $45,000 like I have on the DVDs. Blink, blink. Why would I pay money for it?
Ugh.
I just threw the $45,000. I have no idea how much I've spent. I'm too afraid to actually calculate it at this point.
Don't you need to do that for insurance?
Well, I mean, I have. I don't actively look at those numbers. I'm too disgusted with myself.
Well, alright then.
I think it's getting pretty close to 40 at this point. I mean, let's take into consideration, what was it, 2 shows ago, the one that, like, got deleted, and the one before it that, like, didn't, like, your side was screwed up. That box is still here that I haven't opened.
You still have not opened that?
It's still sitting over there. Fucking unopened.
You and your unopened boxes. Open the box.
Fine. Let me find my pants.
Open the box.
Let me find my pants.
I don't give a shit about your pants.
Okay, fine. Ugh.
I can only see like the top of your underwear line.
That's good. There's a hole in the back of these. What's the fun of these things? I actually have... Oh god, I'm in the wrong leg. I actually have short, like, lounge pants. Like, don't even ask me where I got these from, because I can't even remember, but... I have actual, like, short pajama pants. Ugh, Kiki's such a pain in my ass. Makes me open my shit. Ugh. Now, where's my cutter? I'm just going for work. I can't even remember what
Cupcake is now holding a box.
Yeah, it's coming. Hang on. It's fat. It takes so much work to get my chair back in position. Okay, let's see what I got. I can't even remember what I ordered. Okay.
With how forgetful you are, you should just make an unboxing channel. Now Cupcake is giving me the finger.
Because it's true, doesn't make it any less... Oh, yeah!
Kill me, baby?
Yeah. I was amused by the girl with 2 rocket launchers sitting on the back of the other girl. I was like, yeah, sure, let's get that. Sit over here. Oh, stop between my legs. I got Kokoro Connection.
That's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, I fucking love that.
It's like the complete series.
Kokoro Connection, yeah.
Yeah, it's everything, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody's going, I can't believe you're buying the DVDs. I'm like, I don't know. DVDs are so much easier to get shit watched with. It's like nobody I know has Blu-ray players. Log Horizon Season 2 Collection 2, apparently. I think...
Do you have Season 1?
Yeah, it's over there somewhere.
Okay.
Like, I don't even know if this is good, but I have both seasons now. It says Talking Horses, Vampires, and Teenage Ninja Reptiles.
Okay.
So, yeah. Stupid shine. So that's a thing. What the fuck? Tamako Market.
That's supposed to be hella good.
Welcome to Tamaya, where life is sweet and full of unexpected surprises. So it's about a mochi shop, apparently. Looks like it's by the same people who did K-On!
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. Jewel Bem Hunter Line. If someone doesn't catch them all, we're gonna die. But fortunately for mankind, we have Lime's Aid. Put the legs down.
The art looked familiar.
Sorry, I get a weird shine, like the backlighting. Yeah, so that's a thing.
That's still more in the box.
Yeah, it's $250, so there's quite a bit actually. I got Sentai Selects Those Who Hunt Elves.
Nice.
I've heard good things about it, so I was like, sure. Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah, let me do this in the right order. Little Busters Season 1. Little Busters Refrain, which is Season 2. And Little Busters EX.
The fuck is that about?
I don't know, but I have it all, and it's four things deep. Hang on. Wait, where's... Okay, here's season... I think this is Season 1, Collection 1. Right? Yeah. Okay, there's a secret to the world, and their future may depend on solving it. Oh my god. When tragedy struck Riki Noao as a child, he was rescued from grief over his parents' deaths when 4 other kids recruited him for their group, the Little Busters. Now in high school, Riki and the other Busters are still fast friends, and though their vision of being heroes for justice may have faded with time, they'd still do anything for each other, which is why Riki is now on 2 special missions. The not-so-secret one, recruiting new members for the Busters so they can form a baseball team, preferably of the female variety, as the current dude-babe ratio is an inconvenient 4-to-1. The other mission, though, the strange one, because Riki and Rin, the group's singular girl, are receiving odd messages delivered by cats concerning the existence of a, quote, secret world, assigning them tasks that they have to complete. Were their youthful dreams of being crusaders not so fanciful after all? Or is there something even more vital at stake? Between stealing his courage to talk to girls and dealing with his own narcolepsy, Riki may need just that strength of a superhero to solve the ultimate mystery of what are the Little Busters.
Well, that's a lot of things going on.
Well, obviously, he must meet other girls because look at the...
Yeah, that's a lot of chicks.
That's all chicks on the front.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known there was a dude in that show.
And part 2 has 2 chicks. And there's there's the next one, all chicks. And finally, hey look, it's a chick with a gun.
Bet you he's generic anime guy.
And I have Log Horizon Season 2, Part 1. And finally, although I don't know where it came from, Lunar Legend, Blue Glass Moon, Under the Crimson Air, Tsukihime. Another Sentai Select.
What?
This is apparently by the same people who did Fate Stay Night.
Okay.
So, yeah. That's it. That's what's in the box.
He opened the box. The box is now open. Woo!
Now to add
Anime
to the
everywhere!
File. Jesus Christ, honey. God, I have way too much shit. That file is disgusting. Yeah. Oh, and when I returned Sailor Moon Super S Volume 5, I found 2 other things. Or maybe I found this one earlier, I don't know. But I found one called Gundress by the dude who did Ghost in the Shell and Dominion Tank Police. And it's an Anime Works disc, so I was like, well, That can only be fucking stupid. And it was only like $8, so I was like, fuck it, whatever. And I found this one, which I've never even heard of, called Submarine 707R. That fucking shine, goddamn.
707R. 707.
A lot of these I picked up because they're short. Like 707R is 100 minutes, and Gundress is only 82 minutes. And I think Gundress is in English? I could be wrong. It says subtitles in English, languages Japanese and English, so I'm assuming that means it's frickin' in English, but I could be wrong. It could just be in Japanese. So that's a thing. And I saw Spider-Man today, which was good.
Oh, good. I have not seen that yet.
I was really impressed. It's very. I thought it was very funny. One of my favorite Marvel movies. My friend Zareen says she thinks Ant-Man is her favorite. I haven't seen Ant-Man yet, but she says it's very good. It's very similar.
Ant-Man was pretty good.
I like the. I can't think of his name right now, but I like the actor that plays Ant-Man. He's a cool dude.
I cannot think of his name either. Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd, yeah. Isn't that his name?
Is it? Paul Rudd. Yes. That would be him.
Yeah, Ant-Man, the New Avengers. Hilarious.
Martin Landau died.
Who?
Speaking of Space 1999. What would you have seen him in?
Eddie Wood actor. He was in North by Northwest. He played in Leonard and assistant co under Mastermind. Yeah, Cleopatra, greatest story ever told. Nevada Smith before going on small screen for Mission Impossible. Stream for the Allen's Crime and Misdemeanors. I don't really know him from anything, but I understand what you're talking about.
He plays the commander on Space 1999.
Hilarious.
Sad.
I'm reading about that satanic war memorial that they're going to put up in a town southwest of my state, and now the town's like, well, we're just going to get rid of everything and not do it at all. It's like, you fucking bastards.
There's a new trailer out for the Eureka 7 film.
Oh yeah? I haven't seen that. Let's see. I'm sure it's on A&N.
Oh.
Let's see. There we go. Okay. So are they changing the story or what? It looks like it looks like his dad's still alive.
I don't know.
I really hope they expand on the backstory of the Gecko State, like when they were military operatives. To be dead honest, they are really fucking young. Like, when you consider that Colin Novak, their commander, is 29 at the start of the show, and his father's been dead for, like, half a decade at that point, like, that means he was commander of an elite special forces unit when he was, like, 24, which is unbelievably young.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be, like, the first half of the TV show plus, like, additional stuff. Like,
Yeah, I'm wondering if a lot of that, what we're seeing of his father, is more historical background stuff.
yeah, like them remembering.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really curious. I liked Eureka 7, at least. I haven't watched it in years, but I really liked.
I remember liking it.
Yeah. I remember liking that it was about all the different, like, ways, like, relationships happen at different phases and points in people's lives. Like one of the big defining things is, Holland and oh god damn it, what's his wife's name? Holland Novak and Talho, basically having to grow up because Holland accidentally gets her pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, that's so dumb, whatever. I'm like, but there's, like, this big thing because he beats on Renton at the beginning of the show. Like, he has no restraint. He just wallops the kid. And they keep going, like, he's a kid. You can't just beat up on people, on young people because they don't understand what you've seen. Like, you have perspective, you have age, you have wisdom. And then there's the whole thing about how he's still immature in the sense that when Talho tells him that she's pregnant, he initially runs. Not runs in the sense of, he doesn't physically run away, but he basically, like, he goes in the corner and just, like, goes comatose for, like, a week after she tells him that she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and then there's this whole thing about her having to, like, it sounds really stupid, like, her having to grow up because she has to face the fact that she can't act like a party girl anymore with a kid inside of her, for lack of a better word. And then you have, the other people. I mean, you have the, like, Moondoggy and Gidget, who are, like, 15, 16. You have, I want to say it's Helga. That's not right. I can't think of the two. So bad. The two minority characters. Is it like they're not black in the traditional sense?
The people of color, as it were.
Yeah, people of color. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm bad at using my words.
Fuck. Last time I saw it was on Toonami way back in the day. Hilda. I don't remember anyone's name.
Hilda and... is it Matthew? Yeah, Matthew, easygoing Afro-haired pilot. Like, they're, like... they're going out, but like they never get to that level. Like they're like in a stable non-familial relationship. Misha the doctor, I love Misha. She was so great.
I'm looking forward to the new adaptation of Kino's Journey.
Yeah, I saw that. That's actually like out. Somebody, I saw it for sale, and I was like, "What?" Or is there another new one? Because I have like and I saw there's a newer one from like 2016 or 2017 that was available for sale.
This anime is not premiering until like the fall.
What the hell was I looking at? It was different from. It was different from the one I own, which is like from like the early 2000s. Kino's Journey. Yeah, that's 2002. That's the one I've got. And then I thought I saw another one. Maybe that's a new edition. That must be a new edition. Okay. I was like, yeah, it is a new edition. Okay. I was like super confused. I was like, that's not one I've seen before. And it was an ADV title, and I'm like, yeah, it came out. I get super confused because it said Kino's Journey released 6/6/2017, and I'm like, what? Because it was an ADV title, and I'm like, ADV hasn't existed for like years.
Oh, that's right. ADV is no more. It's not really something I think about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just noises from the kitchen. Or I'm hallucinating. One or the other.
That's an OVA. Okay, I was like, what? Well, there's no mention of it on ANN right now. That's crazy.
Of what?
You said you were talking about a new Kino's Journey adaptation.
Oh, it's not on.
There's not even any news on it. I feel like that would be a pretty big title, but maybe I'm wrong.
They just revealed some new cast members.
Okay. They haven't even attached that to its page yet. Oh, you know why? Because I'm not looking. I'm looking at the adaptation page. I'm not looking at the actual like general use page.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, there's no news on it. They're talking about this is all about all the news about the old ones. This is new. This new. It'll be different. Crazy. I like the show. It was like I'm hoping that the new one will be. I hate to say the word more interesting because that one was kind of like all over the place. Like, I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's just kind of like. I guess everybody's going goo goo gaga for the Kingdom Hearts 3 Toy Story world.
Yeah, I've seen GIFs of that on Tumblr.
That's cool.
Which is how I consume media now.
Be a Tumblr?
No. Oh, I haven't actually seen that, but I've seen the gift set.
It looks cool. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what to even think about that series anymore because it's been all over the place. Like, there's 2 mainline stories, and then it's just like we're gonna have all this side story shit for the next 10 years. Well, we try to pull the team together to develop the game, the next mainline game. I'm just hoping they don't pull a Disney with George Lucas shit and be like, yeah, all those side story stuff, yeah, that's not canon anymore. Just watch the fans rage.
I don't know. Never really played the franchise, so. I'm sure people will be excited when it finally actually comes out.
Wow, I'm so excited. They're doing a fourth Tenchi Muyo OVA.
Oh, sweet.
It's so crazy. So they've got, what I'm excited about is Kiku Morishida is Kenshi Masaki, who is Kenshi's half brother from the Warren Gemnar series. And I loved Warren Gemnar. Warren Gemnar was amazing. We've got Seina is coming back from GXP. Amane is coming back from GXP. Galkarin is coming back. That's GXP. They got somebody to replace Mitoto, who's also going to do the voice of Mahoshi since that actress has since passed away, which is good. Yeah, they're bringing, dude, they're going to have, because I'm a huge Tenchi nerd, obviously. They're bringing Misaki Jirai, who is Ayeka and Sasami's mother. Well, they're going all out. Wait, what? Mitsuga, Ayeka, and Sasami's grandmother? Well, that's right, because nobody ages. Nobody ages in this universe. Like, people don't actually get old. If you're not a human, like Earthling. Holy shit! They're having the main dude from Dual Parallel Trouble Adventures in the thing. He's coming back from Tenchi Muyo GXP. I haven't seen. Can't even say his name right. Kazuki Yutsuga. Like, I own Dual. Dual is fucking stupid, but it's actually tied. It's in the same universe as Tenchi. So they're gonna have him as a character. Washu and Ryo-Oki have been aged up. Alright, so that's their grandmother? Wait, what? That must be their other grandmother, because the Devil Princess of Jirai is the grandmother we got to meet. Oh no, the Devil Princess is his grandfather's mother. He's just like, what the fuck? So I'll hold his Tenchi in this now. Wow, Rhea really got a upgrade. Holy shit. Rhea was kind of nerdy looking in the third OVA. She's like legit super pretty in this one. Like super, they did the whole supermodel look with her for some reason. It's so random. So how old is Tenchi in this? Because if his brother's like 5 or 6, that would make him frickin'. He's in college at this point. He's got the Geta sandals. God damn. Oh yeah, everybody's definitely older because the designs for Yoko and Ayeka, they look older. Sami looks like she's in middle school. Oh, she's the same. Washu's older. Ryo-Oki's older. Oike is oldish. God, that's crazy. I'm so excited. Okay. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know Claire still had secret identities because I thought they were out of high school now. Maybe they're in high school now. I don't know. Whatever. I'm so confused. I'm just kind of going through anime news because I haven't really been paying attention. Ghost in the Shell First Assault online game CG relaunched trailer stream? Must be redid it. Okay.
I'm also looking forward to Mary and the Witch's Flower. That looks adorable as all hell.
Yeah, it does. I'm just hoping they do more Ghost in the Shell. I want more Major Kusanagi, goddammit.
We all do. We all do.
I mean, I loved Arise. But, like, Arise is dumb. I'm like, Arise is freaking amazing. But it's something really weird to say because people are like, procedural cop dramas are stupid. It's like, it's so good. I mean, there's always going to be a soft spot in my heart for Bato. God damn. So much good shit coming. Ugh. Mm-hmm. I want to know when Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is getting a release. That'll probably be sometime next year, I'm sure, but like, I want that so bad. Oh. I want cute dragon girls being cute, because I'm a sucker for that.
Yes, you do. You totally do.
That show,
God,
that show
so
just seems
cute.
amazing. Like, just the focus on like familial relationships with people. Like that's what I at least was just described to me as the show's about. Like, basically, the Dragon Girls like basically forming a family with all the people they meet.
Mm-hmm. She's essentially rebuilding a life.
Yeah.
I have no idea when it comes out though.
I just saw some little clip about I'm not gonna remember the name. Like the little dragon girls, like their sports festival's coming up, and she asks Kobayashi to go to it, and she's like, "Oh, I have to work late, and I don't know, and blah blah blah." Just like, "Oh, okay, I understand. Your work is important." And there's some interjection or exchange between Kobayashi and Kanna's the little dragon. I can't think of the main dragon, the actual maid. They have an exchange about
Toru.
Toru, thank you. Like their relationships with their parents and like something about Kanna's. I think it was Kanna's father was like her grandfather who was like her caretaker's like kill, 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 and how like she just wants like family, like people to love her or whatever. And so there's this whole thing about Kobayashi like making a point to like do extra, stay late and like work hard so that she can go, and it's like, it's just kind of was like a really interesting like exchange, and that doesn't happen a lot in animes when they're talking about like weird interpersonal stuff. Not weird, but like it's weird in the sense that they don't normally, go into it like in entertainment.
According to Wikipedia, it comes out in September.
What does?
The Blu-ray DVD compilation.
What? I have not even seen a listing for it. Let's see. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Okay. So January, the dub, rankings. I want to know where they got that information from because I got nothing.
No, I clicked off. Now something is trying to load. Stop trying to load thing. Can you watch this on Funimation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying. Like it's getting more and more to the point where if you were just if you were just getting into anime, like there's no reason for you to buy anything because it's so easy to get. Like even if you want dubbed, you can get it like via streaming for not a lot of money. I think Funimation's like dub streaming on their site is only like $60 a year.
No, I don't see a reference for it. It doesn't say citation needed either.
Where did you see the September thing?
On the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, it says asking like where on the page because I don't see. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Original animation resistance. Oh, that's in Japan.
Oh, okay. Well, then it'll take even longer.
Yeah, because they haven't even. Doesn't look like they haven't even finished releasing it on disc over there yet. So it'll be probably Christmas. Oh, that's the same person who did I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying. That's a great series.
Yes, it is. It's one of those very sweet, super fucking short animes.
I feel like that was supposed to get an English release, but just never happened. Like, it came out in a weird time where, like, Crunchyroll getting the rights to it basically meant you weren't going to see a release.
Yeah.
Pikachu's Choco Banana McFlurry flavor laws. I guess a lot of people.
What won't Pikachu put his face on?
Well, like, what will Nintendo not put his face on? Har har har. Pikachu sex toys! Oh no. He just wants a Pikachu.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's probably plenty of unlicensed ones.
Oh, I'm sure. I guess my friends have been raging about the fact that Konosuba still hasn't gotten a license announcement. Konosuba and Re:Zero. You're like, oh my god, I can't believe they haven't announced it. It's like, I think it'll be a while. Those shows, they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait until the popularity dies down before they bring them over. I mean, I think about how it took like 4 years for the Steins Gate movie to appear over here. Apparently, Girls and Pens is getting a 6-part OVA finale, which would be cool. That'll probably be them going to college. Oh,
Poor Cupcake.
Cupcake didn't even do anything today. He literally got up, went to see the movies, talked with his friend for a while, came home, or came back to town, had dinner with his grandparents, came home, watched some anime, and now he's talking to you.
Oh, such a laid-back day.
I know, it felt good. It's good for me to have.
Deserve it.
It's good for me to have actual relaxing days because God knows I'm stressed out nonstop. I did order Prison High School because that was on sale this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it holds up. Cause it was that I got that plus. What was the other? I got something else because it was like I could spend $8 shipping and handling. I just spent another $15 and got something else because it was free shipping. Prison School Limited Edition and Umeria? Whatever. So I ordered that, and I also ordered. Oh yeah, I ordered Monster Musume. That's supposed to be really hard to get unless you pre-order. So I was like, screw it, I'll pre-order.
That's the one I didn't like, right?
That's the one with the monster girls that are always fawning over the main character.
Yes.
I'm sure you and I can have a long conversation about how dumb it is after I watch it in August. But I also ordered. These are mostly pre-orders, but School Live was on sale for $65, so I got that. That's the one about the 4 girls that are stuck in a zombie apocalypse, and the one girl's delusional. Actually, she had a psychotic break, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. I keep meaning to watch that.
I haven't really ordered that much, even though Right Stuff is having that sale all month. I haven't had anything where I was I have to have this. And also, I mean, even if I didn't have a huge credit card bill right now, it's still just kind of I'm pretty well stocked up at this point. It's really weird. I'm just kind of looking at new stuff. Even some of the new stuff, I'm eh. Oh, I wonder. Then the new monitor is supposed to ship tomorrow, so that's exciting.
It's gonna be all fancy and everything.
I wonder if my Camelback shipped yet. I ordered one of the new Camelback insulated cups. Because I'm weird. I was it's the same as the big one you've seen me using, but it's double walled steel, so it doesn't. I'm hoping it won't sweat like the current one does.
Just looking at the general news, and what a time to be alive.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about. You're talking proliferation of internet, or did I just hear that wrong?
Yes and no. If that makes sense to you.
Because I was talking to Serena about like how it was so hard for me to keep like the Spider-Man story like unspoiled.
I'm trying to like read actual news and scroll quickly past spoiler entertainment news.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I have like my RSS feeds spread out into different sections, certain sites will still post about other things. My phone. Okay. I don't know why I should just let them in here, but whatever. Like my local news channel is fucking posting about Game of Thrones on their
thing or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm having to like zoom on past it.
Do not want
Not that
to
it's gonna be the end of the world if I knew. Just, you know, I'm not gonna go looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I probably shouldn't be reading the news. It's just gonna make me upset.
I know all of my liberal friends are going crazy because there was another police-involved shooting.
Yeah.
We don't have any information on what happened so far, but they're already frothing at the mouth. I'm just like, oh boy. Because I think it was in Minneapolis. There's a good chance it was a black dude. Because if it's Minneapolis and it's a shooting, it's normally a black dude.
Yeah. Well, currently the only thing that's keeping the current form of the health bill from going to vote is because John McCain has to have surgery. So they're deferring.
I don't actually believe they want to pass it. I don't.
I don't think they do either. It's just I'm tired of the rigmarole.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
Yeah.
Because there's always that chance of giving me that panic of fucking up.
I honestly don't think they know what to do.
I don't think they do, but I'm afraid they're going to eventually do something, and it's going to screw me and millions of other people over.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about health. I'm just talking like in general. Like they could be doing any number of constructive things with their time other than pushing like my moment of zen in all of this was when the health insurance lobbyists, like the people who lobby for the health insurance companies, came out and were like, please don't pass this. Like, wait, what? Like, please don't pass this. This is going to screw everything up. Like, it was more complex than that, but like the health insurance lobbyists are saying, please don't pass this. Like, that can't be good news.
Mm.
Like, the insurance companies like making money. They also don't want their clientele to all be dead.
Yeah. They don't get money if everyone's dead.
It's like one of those things. It's like if no one can afford healthcare, you know, because they basically make it impossible for anybody to get it. It basically screws everything. Well, they were talking about how like by removing the requirement that that everybody share the load, basically by saying you don't have to take plans with things that deal with stuff that are like pre-existing conditions, it reduces costs for people who are healthy, but it basically screws everybody else. And the moment you go from being one of the healthy people to being one of the sick people, you're all of a sudden in that group with people who are screwed because nobody wants to share the load. Because insurance only works if everybody's forced to share the burden. As soon as you give people the option to not have to, it basically slowly wipes out, you know, because it's a risk pool. Like whether we like it or not, insurance works on risk pool. So if everybody isn't paying in, then it's impossible for anybody who's really sick to basically be able to afford healthcare. and this isn't like partisan shit at all. I'm just talking like this would be true of car insurance, house insurance, flight insurance,
insurance.
Yeah, like the concept of insurance only works if everybody who wants it basically pays in on it, no matter what the cost. The other thing we have to deal with as a country is reducing the cost of healthcare. Not insurance, but actual healthcare itself. Because this shit about $600 doctor's visits for a cold is just ridiculous. Like, I get that's me griping at the wind, but like, that's like my big hill that I'm dying on right now. Is like you can't like expect people to be paying multiple hundreds of dollars to go for like a routine checkup. Like, that's insane.
That's ridiculous, and it's also ridiculous that we have little in the way of oversight on how much things cost.
Well, I know people say like introducing more bureaucracy isn't going to reduce costs; it's just going to make it more difficult. But at the same time, it's like then the industry as a whole needs to be able to self-regulate and say, you know what? If you don't have insurance, if you don't have somebody who's going to negotiate for you for a lower price, then this is our going rate.
There needs to be that standard rate for the general public.
Yeah. We understand that the price of healthcare is jacked up because the assumption is that anybody with an insurance provider, whether it be the government or not, is going to, because the argument you'll get from the other side is, well, it's the government causing it because Medicare and Medicaid basically will pay whatever they have to pay to keep people on it, until they get their health care. But there's a reality that is for the most part a minority of the population insured. I mean, yeah, okay. I'm not. I understand Medicare is a lot of people because the baby boomers are a huge chunk of the population. But what I'm saying is, like, there are a lot of people that like I get a good deal because the clinic I happen to go to is owned by my insurance provider. So when they negotiate, what they really do is just give me the lowest rate. So where my doctor's visit for burning pee should have cost me $600, it cost me $134. And at no point no money exchanged hands. It's just the fact that they're my insurance provider. They happen to own the clinic I go to. So I get like a super low rate, lower than even like my mother gets with way better insurance. And I don't know like how that compares to other insurance companies, but like my mom has like Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and I think it's Health Partners, but it's like Health Partners owns my clinic, so it's like I got a better rate than my mom gets. She pays like $200, I pay like $130.
Mm-hmm. I forgot what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've got over this. I got over this line about healthcare. We do it every time because it's a big thing for me because I just think I think that anything that important to a society as rich as we are it's insane to be like, well, some people just don't get it. It's like, we got to be able to figure out a way to make this work.
With how much money there is floating around and how we become closer and closer to having third world standards in certain areas, especially in healthcare, like especially in women's health or uterus related health.
It's like I look at it like this. It's like when did jobs in general become a thing of like, well, if you're going to do a job that doesn't require, let's just say, a ton of education, you're just not going to get paid anything. Like we all know that it's a fact that inflation hasn't kept step with cost of living. Or I'm sorry, cost of living hasn't kept step with inflation. But you know what I'm saying? Like, inflation rises faster than the cost of living did. So it's like, you know, my mother making $7 an hour in the 1970s was able to pay for her schooling because her schooling was like, at a private school, was only like $7,000, which is a lot of money back then, but still was doable. And there's all kinds of societal problems that have popped up because of the fact that we overvalue a lot of things, and it's like, and I don't say overvalue in the sense of like we think it's worth more than it actually is, but it's like it's inflated. They shouldn't make school cost so much that only the highest tier jobs can allow you to pay it back in a reasonable amount of time, and not be punished at the end of your repayment period because you couldn't complete payment in time fast enough.
That is regrettably how we currently live, though.
Mm-hmm. That's only in the last 15 years, though, because there's...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's...
Well, now, because of... We're pulling apart all those nifty regulations we put on, we're going back to creating yet another bubble. I'm gonna look forward to that crash.
Mm-hmm. There's no doubt that the student loan bubble is going to pop someday soon, and we're going to see a huge crash.
Because there's, I don't remember the article, but I remember the headline was something about how significantly more and more are never going to be able to pay off their student loan.
Yeah.
It's just an impossibility.
Yeah. We took out more money than we could ever reasonably earn and live on, and still be able to pay the loan back. Life is so exciting.
So exciting. I know the news is all freaking out about McCain's surgery and how it's apparently going to take him forever to recover.
Well, good. Then they have plenty of time to stall.
Yep.
And by the time they get back to it, it'll be midterm elections, and they'll lose a whole bunch of seats, and then they can blame it on the Democrats again.
Yay! Because even with them, being in control of everything, they still can't get shit done.
It's like, what I don't understand is that they're spending all this time on this like this healthcare repeal bill, but like there's so many other things that they could be doing while they're quote unquote waiting to work on the bill. Like I don't know what's going on in Congress, but I feel like they could be talking about any number of other constructive things that the country needs to deal with. What the next thing they deal with is, like, I don't know. I'm not going to even try to go there, but like, what? And I feel like Republicans would be on this, but like my big one is always like the crumbling transportation infrastructure in our country, like in general. Like, yeah, it takes tax dollars to get it fixed up, but like, it's an important part of industry. There's no reason not to spend the money as a country. You're going, well, we shouldn't take government dollars. Guess what? Those government dollars help you make money for the companies that are buying you out. And there's no way you can't tell me that a corporation, any corporation, doesn't understand what a good use of tax money, roads, bridges, and tunnels are. I always get this shit about we need to privatize the roads. No, we don't need to privatize the roads. In general, people do a
shitty. Do not privatize the roads.
In general, people do a real shitty job when they privatize roads. Like toll roads, okay. Like toll highways, that I get. There are places where there are no people, and so toll roads make sense. Everywhere else where there's a municipality or a county or a state that could be investing money in the infrastructure, that's a good use of tax money. There's any number of ways that you can pay for major infrastructure projects. The bridge that opens in 2 weeks in my town is proof positive that we can come together as states, counties, as a country, and find a way to pay for shit.
Nope, gotta worry about the healthcare bill.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's clearly what we put all of our eggs in. That basket.
Look, if they want to write a legitimate healthcare bill and overhaul our entire, how our entire healthcare system works, that's fine. But that's not what the current bill is about, and everyone knows that.
Yeah.
I have said up and down over and over again, if the Republicans want to sit down and write a bill and try to overhaul our healthcare system and make it better, and I do mean actually make it better, then they should do it. But I don't want to hear this shit from everybody about how they're trying and what they come up with is very obviously cronyism in order to basically give the rich tax cuts. I mean, everyone that's reported on this bill as it stands now seem to all unite under this umbrella idea that it's basically a tax cut for the rich. You don't want to do single payer? Fine. That's great. What I think we should be doing as a country is single payer with insurance. What I'm saying is there should be blanket single payer insurance, just like every other westernized or Western-based country in the world. But if you want extra protection and you want to invest your money and hedge your bets, then yes, you should be able to drop the money and have extra insurance that will cover anything that the single payer can't or won't cover. Like, I'm not saying that there should be single payer that doesn't cover everything. What I'm saying is, like, if I want to hedge my bets and drop a couple $100 every month on an insurance plan so that if I get catastrophically ill, basically I'm covered. I won the lottery I never want to win, and now I don't have to worry about paying that bill back because I've been paying in. Great. That sounds awesome. Like, to me, insurance should always work like the lottery you never want to win. You're paying in with the hope you never need to use it. But it's exactly what it is. It's an insurance policy. If you lose, if you get, 3 poison mushrooms on the slot machine of life, then this is your get out of jail free card. That's a lot of euphemisms. I didn't mean it to be that way. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not really big on being partisan on shit. It's like, it was like the last big shooting thing that they're now done reporting on because there's been a new shooting that they'll spend the next year and a half going on and on about. I mean, that's another gripe I have. They're all about this this minority violence shit, but it's all based on ratings. Like they're not going to say another fucking word about was it Castile's family now that this new shooting has happened. They're done. There's nothing more they can make money off of with that. They got a new pet story that they can ride into the ground. Now this may not be the next one, but I'm just going with, all the news agencies in my state are going, goo goo gaga trying to get information. It's just this feeling of like they don't really care. They just want the ratings. So all this actual societal violence is getting basically biasly reported in order for somebody somewhere to make some money off advertising. That's probably a really harsh thing to say, but I feel like it's a reality. It was like
that. Go ahead.
It was like that guy down in Missouri. I don't remember his name anymore. I'm sorry, but like they went on about that for so long, and then there was the dude that got killed in New York, and that was the next one they talked about. Now we had Castile, and now whatever comes next will take that dude's place. Is the big story where they focus on it, but once they've wrung every last drop of advertisable material out of it, then they don't give a shit anymore. You won't hear anything more. That cop will fade back into the background, and no one will say another word about it. And whether he was guilty or innocent doesn't really matter for them as long as they make some advertising revenue.
I mean, on the one hand, I get it. They need to pay bills, just like everybody else. But on the other hand, it's the news. Its first focus should be the news. But that's not how journalism works anymore.
No. Well, I mean, media in general is kind of in a weird spot as for us as a society, because we were like, I was talking to a friend about newspapers. I'm like, who the hell needs a newspaper anymore? I mean, I can get the news online, like the actual what they're going to report on. I get that online from any number of sources. You can get people like, well, coupon clippers. I'm like, you can get those coupons online. Half the times, most of these companies have their ads available online to download. You don't even have to have a printer.
Sometimes a lot of stores just have the latest pages right there at the front of the store.
Yeah.
You just grab it on your way in.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like you have grocery clippings, like clipping the coupons on grocery ads. But it's like, so let's go with your example, right? So I'm gonna make an assumption, and this is more for the average lower middle class person. You have access to the internet, so you can at least see what's in the ad and know what's coming, and then just go in, grab the ad, use your coupons. Either bring a scissors with you or rip them out, whatever, I don't give a shit. Or if you have a printer, print them out. Or if you have a phone, you load the coupons on your phone, you show it to the guy at the register, he scans your phone, you're done. There's any number of ways this is solved without ever having to ever spend $1 on a newspaper subscription.
Actually, now that I think about it, all that shit comes in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just junk mail now.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've made some pretty strong arguments that cable television is dying, and what we're seeing with these crazy prices, these are the death throes of companies that don't want to admit that their business model is dead. because there's two things left that like really, really require live television: sports and the news. Now, live news is something that's like a holdover from our parents' generation. Like, I don't know very many people in my generation or my age group that really give a shit about like the morning or afternoon or evening news. Like, nobody watches that. Like, my grandparents do, my parents do. Like,
my mom does.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's an older generation thing. Like, it's not a lot of people like in their 20s and 30s that like sit down and watch the news in the evening.
No, I look on my phone.
Or if I want to catch a newscast, I just catch like the clip on YouTube or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Live sports. Live sports is solved by one thing, which is I guarantee you is coming within the next 10 years, which are sport packages. Which is to say, like, you spend X amount of dollars a year to get all of your team's televised, quote unquote, televised games, and you can stream them to any device that's, you know, smart enough to have it streamed to it. Now, some people will say, well, then that by not having television, you have no reason to televise the games, quote unquote. But it's like, if you have enough rabid fans that'll pay anywhere from $80 to $150 a season to catch all of their team's televised games, it kind of pays for itself after a while. Like, you don't actually have to have a television contract because all the people buying in basically pay your operational costs to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you have to pass some of the costs on to the team holders. The team owners will be like, you know, you have to foot some of the equipment costs in order for your team to televise their games. But it's not like it would be that hard to sell like the 30 owners of whatever, you know, 30 to 50 owners of whatever you're talking about, whether it be basketball, football, baseball, hockey. I think I named the big four. You know, like, it's not like one team would not want to televise their games. So all your away games are taken care of by the people who are having the home game, and all the home, like, you know, then your home games, they come to you needing to televise your home games means that they get their stuff televised. And you just have a sharing agreement that all the teams agree that, you know, if your team is playing my team, then, you know, we both, you know, my you know, like, my feed can be used to televise your team's game. That probably sounded really crazy, but in my mind, like, that's coming.
That doesn't sound that crazy. The way you explained it was a little roundabouty. But I get what you're saying, and I hope other people do too. But no, yeah, it's that, and the way we consume media is changing. So, I mean, a lot of things, you can, are having the ability to live stream it instead of watching it on cable now.
Mm-hmm.
So the change has already started. There are people out there that don't even own TVs anymore.
I mean, I've got a TV. I've turned it on once in like 5 years, and that was when Raid was here the last time. Otherwise, that TV just sits over there. The only reason I don't throw it away is it was a good TV and there's nothing wrong with it. My friends, you know, they're going, oh, get a new TV, get an HD TV. I'm like, I don't ever turn that thing on. There's no point in me spending money on a TV I'm never going to watch. I told my mom, I'm like, if you want my cable box, you can have it. Like, you can return it or whatever you want to do. I haven't watched cable in so long. And now YouTube's doing this stuff where they're like, you can get like live streaming shows. You've seen that? Like I've been catching like streams of like Futurama and Family Guy and stuff. It's like, what the heck?
Well, you can also get like just straight up television service through YouTube now too.
Well, it's like my television service. Like, I can watch live TV on my computer. Like, I can log into Comcast and I can watch a channel live on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
I would, if they would offer that to me with the internet, like, hey, if you have internet and you want like cable, but you don't want cable like TV, you just want the ability to get the channels on your computer, like we'll cut you a deal. We'll say, you get it for $30 less than you would pay for like just like you were getting it normally. Cool, I'll take it. On the off chance,
I would totally take that.
If because like right now we're paying $175 a month for cable and internet, and it's outrageous. We don't watch enough TV. And my mother doesn't cut it because she still occasionally sits at home and watches like what was it, like the crime channel, 48 Hours and all that stuff. So she's like, I don't want to lose that. I'm like, do you really feel like, if you feel like to you it's worth spending a couple $100 a month, just keep doing it. But like, I don't watch TV, so if going to just internet means I pay like $100 a month, I'm still okay with that. Like in any scenario where I pay less money for the service, I'm cool with that.
The moms collectively watch a lot of television. I mean, it is stuff we could get, except for like news.
Yeah.
Through streaming services, but they're very used to just doing it through cable.
Yeah.
That's fine. But if it was just me and the hubby, we would very much not have cable, because we're paying a lot of money for maybe 6 channels.
Yeah.
Worthwhile out of all the channels we're given.
Oh yeah.
And we're still missing channels that would be beneficial.
Well, I mean, like, if I could order channels in like network blocks, that sounds really stupid, but if I could get channels in like network or genre blocks, like I would literally have Discovery Network, which is like military history. I don't really watch history anymore, like history and Discovery, but like, like military science, Nat Geo. I don't watch the low end anymore because they've all turned into garbage. What I really want is like all the old informational shows that I liked as a kid. I want a channel that's like that stuff, like a channel that's full of Mythbusters, Good Eats, Bill Nye the Science Guy, Beakman's World, Mr. Wizard. How it's done, how they make it. Like, I love those shows. I'm enthralled by those shows, and I know I'm a minority in that sense. I used to sit at Radio Shack back in the day, and every morning they would have like a 4-hour block of how they do it, how it's made, and I would just leave that on. It was safe. It was never derogatory. I never had to worry that it was going to be something that would be like offensive to somebody, and it was goddamn interesting.
No, cable would be... I would be much happier with cable if I could purchase by network and not by bullshit package.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have, a vast collection of channels I never fucking look at.
Mm-hmm.
And, the 6 I use on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want local news, because sometimes you need that. And just the few networks I watch stuff on. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the extra sports channels or networks I don't give a shit about.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I would just kill for like a collected works of... This is gonna sound so lame. I would die for like Good Eats the complete series. No, it doesn't exist. I've looked. You can buy it on Amazon, which I think is fucking silly.
Isn't it like hella expensive?
I think it's about $50 a season, and there's like 15 seasons. And I don't think it's not that I think Amazon will go away tomorrow, but it's like I would rather if I had to do it that way, I would do it. But then I want copies. I don't want to stream it. I would rather just have the copies on my computer.
No, I grabbed my keyboard to see how many seasons are there.
15, I want to say.
Hulu has 13 seasons.
So maybe it's 13. I couldn't remember the exact amount.
I remember seeing that Hulu had it.
Oh, maybe Hulu does. Don't you have to subscribe to Hulu now?
For some things. You might for HGTV, Food Network related crap.
Mm-hmm.
You don't for everything. I have a subscription. We have the fancy no commercial one.
Oh, cool. But yeah, I mean, like, I enjoyed the shit out of that show, and I would, and if only to have it for, like, going to bed at night, I would love to be able to, like, just turn it on. 'Cause it's like, I've seen them all a million times, so I'm not, like, worried about missing anything. But it's so hard, like, I haven't bought the rest of Futurama because I'm waiting for, like a Blu-ray set to come out, and then I'm going to buy that, and I'll get, like, the entire series on Blu-ray, and then I can rewatch it.
No, that's what I do with Murder, She Wrote.
Oh god, I've seen so much Murder, She Wrote available for sale at half-price books, it's disgusting.
I love me my Murder, She Wrote.
I've seen it at least 4 times since I started collecting anime. I've seen, like, the entire series box sets, like, all of them, for, like, probably, like, $100 altogether. I imagine it must be a good show if you like it. I know a lot of people like Angela Lansbury, so.
Well, yeah, she's a queen.
She's a queen.
Goddess, nay.
Oh, I gotcha. I never quite know what people are saying anymore. I know that probably sounds weird. I've seen so much slang terminology for stuff that I'm like somebody was talking to me. This is gonna sound so bad. Don't think I'm like a weirdo for this, but like somebody was talking about one of our new employees was talking about being queer, and I was like, "What kind of queer?" They're like, "What kind of question is that?" I'm like, "I'm just checking your meaning. I'm not questioning your right to be queer. I was just asking." And I had just wrongly assumed that they were using it in the orientation. Is it orientation or is that sexual preference? I don't know what.
In the LGBT way?
Yes, thank you. And they were just.
Or my preferred GSRM.
GSRM, yeah. But you get what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to be.
Well, for me, that's what queer means these days.
Yeah, no, alright. So you understand that I wasn't trying.
That's the way I use it.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to oppress them, and I think is the word I felt like was being slung at me, that I was demeaning their whatever they were describing to me, and I was just checking. I wasn't sure if you were using it like, and I was trying to just like what you're saying. I was trying to describe what like the version that they were using, and they were like, "Do you have a problem with it?" I'm like, "No, I don't have a problem with it." I was just like, "Are you?" Because they're young, and I assumed it was that way, but I was like, I just wanted to make sure you weren't feeling queer. Not that you are queer. Like, what are you trying to say? I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out which version of queer is it. Is there any other version? I'm like, I give up. I surrender.
Doesn't queer have like 5 definitions?
But you understand what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
People are not as forgiving as you guys are.
Well, I get what you're trying to say.
Like literally the way I'm describing to you was I was going like, I was like, are you like queer in like gender, like not gender preference, but like you were saying like in how you feel, or are you feeling queer, or are you queer? Like, what are you trying to say? I'm like, queer had the word of being like, you feel weird. Do you feel weird, or are you queer? Are you homophobic? Oh my god, I give up.
Poor Cupcake. Oh.
Like, I understand that. Like, I was talking to a friend. Like, I understand that people using the line, I identify as tech helicopters. What do they call it? Like, is biasly making fun of people with real issues. And I was like, the whole problem is that there was a group of people that ruined it for everybody by saying really weird shit. And I don't mean like in the traditional sense. I mean like it started becoming an internet joke because somebody made the line like I identify as like Dragon Kid or something. And it was like,
you mean Otherkins?
Otherkins, thank you. And I was like, and it was like, you know, by the neurotypical people was universally accepted as, what the fuck are you talking about? Not to say that they don't have a legitimate reason to feel that way, but it was like, it turned into this thing, and I was like, I don't make that joke anymore because I can accept the fact that there are a group of people to which that is hurtful. Hurtful?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And being aware of the fact that it hurts other people, I would tell other people that, you know, well, we can accept that there are some things that some people have said that we find strange. They have a right to feel that way as long as they're not hurting anybody. Like, if you want to believe you're whatever, I mean, this goes beyond. Like, I'm not in any way referring to any of the other, like the stuff that we've all talked about a million times. I'm talking about the stuff where, like, you know, identify as an other kid. And people are going, do you need to see a doctor? You know, somebody telling me that their gender fluid is more acceptable to me from a middle of the road neurotypical standpoint than somebody telling me that they think they're like a werewolf. I mean,
okay, to be nitpicky, somebody thinking they're a werewolf is technically not an otherkin.
I have no idea what an otherkin even is, to be dead honest.
You feel inside that you are not human.
Okay, fair enough. But I mean, that's this goes back to my argument where you gave me like the list the one time. It was like people like I identify as like all these different things. And I was like looking at it, I'm going, some of these are medical diagnoses more than they're an actual thing that the average person might feel that they are. I don't remember what the one I stuck on was, but I remember like getting really persnickety about something. It was like, this is a medical diagnosis more than it's an actual thing that, I mean, it is the thing that somebody feels. Obviously, they've diagnosed it to somebody, but it's not something that the average human being, you know, this is a rarity of the highest caliber, I think was like what I was getting at. Like the one was like, wasn't the one was like, you want to be near people, but you don't feel love? It was like, what?
What, you mean aromantic?
No, it wasn't aromantic. It was like, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Oh, sorry, I was downloading something. It was getting an error. Okay. Oh, that was weird. Is it gonna start back up again? Oh, start it back up again. That's cool. I don't remember what it is, and I'm sure I was being stupid with it, but like, I just remember getting really like persnickety and hung up on one of them that was like, you remember it was like a photo of a bunch of like chibi furry characters that says like, I am this, and they're like,
I vaguely remember that.
I don't even remember what it was, but it was one of the ones at the end where it was like something like very specific, and I was like, that's not even like an orientation. That's just. Oh, really? I wonder why he doesn't want to play ball.
When I look at most glossaries of terms, they're very limited.
Yeah, no, I don't even like. It was on Tumblr. That's all I remember, and
yeah, I don't remember specifically what it was, but I remember understanding your confusion.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. I didn't think it was real. I totally accepted that it was real, but I said that like it's not like somebody saying they're like aromantic or asexual or one of any of like those things. Like I could accept all that, but this was like this isn't so much that like an orientation or gender or anything as much as it's like just a thing that a doctor, a psychologist, or a psychiatrist had diagnosed at some point. It was like the term they were using was literally to me like a diagnosis of a doctor going, "You have this problem." And it wasn't that I didn't think it was a legitimate thing that somebody could feel, but it was like this isn't really something that this is a like I think what like looking back on it, I think what my argument really was is like this is a unicorn upon unicorns. Like the amount of people that would seriously be quote unquote afflicted with this could be counted in like 1 in a million, which is still a lot of people. I'm not saying it isn't, but like it's if we have 300 million people in this country, that means there's 300 people who feel this way. And it's not that it's not legitimate, but it was just like this is like so minute that no one would ever. There are probably a chunk of that population that don't even know that what they're feeling has a name.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you process cannot be accessed the file? What? Why is my computer?
Is something going wrong?
No, I think my computer's fine, but it's telling me something I was downloading can't be downloaded because the file it is being used by another process. Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I mean that's one of the things about a lot of the lesser known terminologies is the fact that we are talking about minorities, and within minorities we're talking about even more minorities, considering that the major populace still doesn't think bi is a thing, and that's a well-known term.
Oh, I mean that's silly. Like that I could totally like I was saying, like I'm not.
It's because we live in a binary.
Yeah. People are like
we run on a binary concept.
Yeah. I remember when you first described like gender fluid to me, I was really confused by that initially. I was like, "What? Is that actually a thing?"
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's hard to understand, but it was like I didn't actually I initially couldn't conceive that there were people that like kind of rolled back and forth between the binary genders, or maybe we're feeling some mixture.
It's one of the easiest things that is also one of the more difficult things is to try to remember that it's not actually binary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the majority of people, it looks binary, which is why we think of it as a binary system. But it's not. There's no specific box or check mark for everyone.
I think the problem is that...
But we currently use all these terms as if there is specific check marks because we need to get the information out there to go beyond the binary system.
I think the problem, where the problem lies is that we have two physical sexes.
Yeah.
And so people talk about us being binary genders, but they're really talking about us that we have binary sexes. And that's a thing of all mammalian life. And we need to get past that and just say, okay, barring the obvious exception, which is trans people, what is your current physical sex?
Well, there's also intersex people.
Yeah, but that's okay. So add them to the exceptions as well, because that's still extremely rare. You're talking about 1 in a million.
I know, but again, we're talking about minorities.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, when you talk about the checkbox and stuff, that has more to do with the government bureaucracy mentality of we need to classify stuff for use in tax purposes, for lack of a better word, to make sure that people are getting represented. But it's, for all intents and purposes, the only thing that really matters for the majority of the human population, because I'm not looking at the outliers. As a science person, I'm looking at the graph going, forgetting the outliers, which are obviously exceptions to the rule. What we're really concerned about is the average person. What's your current physical sex? Because obviously, like you're saying, intersexed and trans people, like, that can be really hard to knock down, but they're still, like, it's something we have to look into. But we're treating gender and sexual orientation like they're a part of physical sex, which is like another whole kettle of fish, is what I'm getting at.
Kettle of fish.
I know I use that term a lot. I'm sorry. I mean,
I caught myself using it the other day.
The whole issue about this is requiring people to accept the fact that there are minorities that exist that don't fit the rigid natural majority. When I say natural, I'm saying like the way we've evolved. And because of that, like, it's hard to get the majority to see it because it's not something that they're going to run into regularly. Like, people talk about all these minorities like they fucking everywhere, which to a certain extent they are. But what I'm saying is, like, when you look at the population just in this country, and then like you would take all of the people that fit into the amount of the standard check boxes, it's still like a tiny slice of this huge group of people. And so it's hard to sell uninformed people on the fact that what they think of as this invasive problem is basically non-existent.
Well, it's a tiny slice that's being, downtrodden, abused, and ignored.
Because it's human nature to fear what you don't understand.
That's why we gotta get that information out there. And so I can stop seeing the latest trans murders.
Oh god. Well, I mean, that's what I'm getting at. Like, they people talk about it like it's happening all. I mean, it is happening all the time. I'm not saying that, but like what I'm saying is like they treat them like they treat trans people like they're invaders from outer space. I think is my best analogy off the top of my head right now. And it's like you do realize that this is the equivalent of killing a unicorn, right? Like, these people are not at all deserving of being murdered for something that they can't help being. I'm sorry I'm using the unicorn analogy.
Unicorn's fine.
I'm sure there'll be people who are like, hey, who do you think you're trying to oppress?
No, unicorn's a pretty universal queer terminology.
I wasn't meaning to use it like that. I was using the sense that, like, unicorns can't help being unicorns, and the fact that we talk about, like, in fantasy and stuff, like, all the unicorns being, exterminated by humanity, That's how I look at like all these things, like, the Matthew Shepard type like murders where somebody just did it because he was different or she was different or they were different. However you want to cut that cake, like it's like you do realize that these people are a massive minority, and the fact that you're taking out your hate, your fear, your distrust of someone who has literally done nothing to you is insane. Like when you actually sit back and look at like somebody murdering somebody because they're trans or they're whatever. I don't, pick whatever group you want to pick. I don't give a shit. It's all the same to me. It's like, who gives a crap? Are they hurting you? Well, I don't like them. Why don't you like them? They're different. Why does that matter? How are they hurting you? Well, they're here. What does that have to do with them hurting you? Somebody being in your general vicinity doesn't hurt you unless they're like shooting at you with a gun. I mean, I'm sure that sounds horribly stupid on my part, but like that's how I look at it. It's like, none of this is hurting you. Leave them alone.
No, that's kind of the major point of we're not hurting anyone. Let us exist. Stop hurting us. We're people just like you.
I mean, I don't claim to be a paragon of fucking ethics and virtue, but I definitely don't like go out of my way to ruin other people's days. Like, that just feels silly to me. I don't know. I just like I totally own up to the fact that like I don't always understand where people are coming from because I haven't had to, or not that I haven't had to, but I can't always comprehend like the feelings that people are having. Is still too foreign to me. Like somebody like our coworker who's transitioned, for lack of a better word, like yelling at me that I can't understand what it feels like to be there. I'm like, no, I can't. The closest thing I have to work off of is being crippled, which is not the same. People don't kick my ass they don't regularly kick my ass in the parking lot for being crippled. It has happened, but that's an outlier. That's not a thing that normally happens. It's just like, I mean, I can roll around for hours about this madness. It's just like, I don't understand people. It's like, people get bent out of shape about the weirdest shit, and it's like, why is this happening? Like, just cool your jets. He's considering quickly how she'll punch me in the face via TCP/IP.
Why would I punch you in the face? No, I'm just looking at news titles.
Oh, sure.
Headlines. I had no reason to punch you in the face, bud. You're fine.
You had this look on your face like, if I could murder you right now, I would do it,
no,
and no one would find your body. And I'm like, oh shit.
It's other people I want to murder, not you.
Well, it's like one of my friends posted me that, like, are you an ally or an enemy of people of color? And I'm just like, oh, please leave me alone. I mean, I like to think bare minimum I fall somewhere in the middle, but I definitely accept that I have my biases and shit that I'm still working through.
The best thing you can do is to realize that there's a problem. You've done that. Not everybody can automatically be a part of the fight. And but the first steps are, realizing that not only you have a problem, society has a problem. Okay, well, we're roughly at 2 hours.
We should probably stop so you don't get killed by the editing.
Yep.
Why did we go this long? Why are we insane?
Because, I hate myself.
Well, that seems like a personal problem to me.
Yes, Cupcake. That is very much the definition of a personal problem.
Cupcake in the morning. And that's how I got these black eyes.
Thank you once again for listening to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki and Cupcake. We hope you enjoy not only the show, but your cup of tea as well. Farewell my fellow internet beings.
Good night, Cupcake.
Good night, Kiki.
Transmission terminated.